Good morning. Happy Monday. How is everybody? We're going to give everyone a few seconds, as always, moments to log in. I will tell you, I got to log off by about 9:55 today because I got to help Maddox get into one of his classes. So, not an ad, but if you have kids, outschool.com has some really cool like extracurricular activities available that are all remote. So my kids have been enjoying some of that and pretty reasonably priced too. So just FYI, Maddox is taking the 7 Wonders of the World at 10 o'clock today. Him and Michaela both have a Hamilton singing class on Sundays that they're both really enjoying. And then Michaela started Spanish on Friday. So cool things going on. As you jump in, I see you guys kind of jumping in and out. So say hey, let me know where you're from. Let me know you're here. These ladies have walked by my house like 4 times in the last 5 minutes. It's like they're just pacing in front of my house, and it's really weird because they're not my neighbors or anything. It's weird. Anyway, so we will talk updates. Usually updates for all of 2020, updates have consisted of stimulus bills, right? And COVID relief. We still have nothing, but I will give an update on what I've read over the weekend on when we might see something. So we'll chat about that. Normally, updates at the end of the year / beginning of the year would include tax law updates, right? Because so the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2018 was a huge overhaul, like the biggest overhaul we had on the tax code since 1986. However, there are changes that happen every year to the tax laws, okay? And normally, that's what we'd be talking about. We would be talking about tax updates, and throughout the year, as we do an updates and Q&A, I would be telling you about little things about each of those things and how they change and how they affect you. But we're all about COVID relief now, right? So as you guys are logging in, definitely start putting your questions in the chat. I will get to them. I don't have any pre-selected questions this week, so we will do my mini update and then answer y'all's questions. We'll jump right into any questions you have, and if not, then we'll call it a day early. We'll call it early. It sounded like I said, like, we'll call it a day early. Like, I know what I meant. It's not what I said. Anyway, so if you guys were here for 9 o'clock training, thank you for joining us. Next week, the ladies are walking by again. I should shut that window, but then it's too dark in here. Next week, we are talking about when to hire a bookkeeper. So if that's something that interests you in your business, come check it out. And as always, at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time every week is updates and Q&A. There was a little snafu with the timing this week. If that ever happened to you guys, and it's weird because it has something to do with like Facebook being on East Coast time, and it's weird because I used to think it was because my VA was on East Coast time, right? So when she'd schedule things, I'm like, oh, it scheduled her with her local time instead of mine. But I don't think she's scheduling things anymore because and so I don't know why it's still on East Coast time. Who knows? Okay, let's jump into it. We got 15-ish minutes. So I don't see any questions yet. So go ahead and, put your questions in as you jump in here. Anything, you guys, accounting, tax, bookkeeping, you name it, let us know. But I'm going to talk to you guys about updates. There aren't any. Big shocker, because I'm pretty sure you guys know if there was, I would have done like an all-out news bulletin, all hands on deck, impromptu training if we ever get something. But so what I've kind of started doing every week is coming in here telling you what the newest news is on actually having a timeline. And I read 6 different articles from different different levels of this news spectrum, if you know what I mean. And in different words, it sounds like getting a stimulus before the end of the year is going to be a long shot. Getting a relief bill passed. The exception to that, what it sounds like they're trying to maybe push through, is a stimulus check. I don't know if you guys remember that a good chunk of American taxpayers got a $1,200 stimulus check back in March, April, May, sometime many, 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 many years ago, or months ago. It's all the same now, right? We got $1,200 checks to most Americans. That was supposed to be some stimulus relief. I don't know about you, but that $1,200 for me was gone before I even got it because I was already behind on things. At that point, we haven't gotten anything since. And so what it sounds like the president might try to pass something, but that just to get that stimulus check out. But in terms of a full COVID relief package, it's a long shot. We're in what's called a lame duck session, both presidential and Congress, you guys. A lot of these Congress people won't be congressmen anymore as of next year. And so they have no incentive to pass anything. It's kind of like, and I know nobody in here has this work ethic, but let's put it into so let's say you know that you're getting fired in 2 weeks, right? Then what is your incentive to get work done? You know, I'm not saying that anyone in here has that kind of work ethic. We would all work hard until the very last minute we couldn't, right? Because that's what my people do. But you guys can kind of understand why why so many of them aren't in a big rush to pass anything. House majority, the House, however, said, what's today's date? I think on Friday, that they're planning to complete something the week of December 7th. So that would be next week. They're planning on working on it and introducing a stimulus bill. We'll see. I don't know. Just coming from you guys going back and looking at past Congresses, past legislations, whatever. I'm not really into political science, guys. I'm an accountant. But I do always, at the end of the year, I'm always looking at what Congress, because they're usually doing budgets and trying to pass budgets. And usually in part of that is something with the IRS and something with tax laws. And we're always down to the last minute. But you guys, I did find, where did I find this? On was it CNET? I wrote it down. I think it was from CNET.com. They made this handy dandy, like, when stimulus checks could go out. And even if the House passes a final bill next week, it has to pass both sides of the Congress, right? It has to pass the House and the Senate. Then the president has to sign it. And then you have to get a directive, right, to actually implement it. So they're saying if the House, the Senate, and the president can all sign off next week, we could start seeing direct deposits the following week. Am I going to keep my fingers crossed for that? Hell yeah, I am. Okay. Am I going to start paying things with that potential $1,200? No, I'm not, because I don't know if it's coming. But that's the latest I found in terms of that. So yeah, that's kind of where we stand. We're still at this. I don't even know the words. I haven't finished my coffee, you guys. But it's like Congress has not had a sense of urgency to pass this since, we were talking about when were we talking about it? In August, maybe even July, we were talking about and hearing little whispers of a second stimulus bill being in the works. And it's now we start December tomorrow and we still have nothing. So yeah, that's it. that's what I've got, is that I've got nothing for you. So that said, I don't see once Congress and once Congress and the presidency switch over in January, I have to imagine this has to be at the top of their list of things to get done. I have to think it has to be at the top of the list. No matter, we know that the president is going to be Democratic. We know that the House is going to stay blue as well. The Senate is up in the air, probably will stay red, maybe not. But I think, I mean, you guys, we passed the first stimulus bill with a blue House, a red Senate, and a red president. So why can't we pass it with a blue House, a blue president, and a red Senate? Okay, so I have faith that's something, because we need it, right? Small businesses, I don't know about where everyone else is watching from, but in Colorado, we shut down again, you know, so our restaurants are back to outside dining or takeout only. We have no activities really going on. And so small businesses are struggling, you know, and so I don't think they want, I can't imagine the government doesn't have our best intent. I don't know. I'm lying now. I don't know what they're doing, guys. I tried to be, for those of you that know me, you know, I'm very optimistic. I am very, I see the best in people, and sometimes to the point of being gullible, right? I'm like, they will do better. They will do better. They mean well. They mean well. But I'm even to the point where I'm like, do they? Does anyone mean well in our government? Like, it's terrible. So that's it. That's my update in 15 minutes or less, is there really isn't one. And we can just hope for something to pass before year end, but I just don't feel hopeful for it. I don't see any questions, so that's good. But y'all, if you don't bring questions to Q&A, I'm not going to do Q&A anymore, because obviously we don't get to fill it with updates because there are no updates. So please, please, please make sure you're bringing your questions so I have things to answer for you. Otherwise, I'll assume you got it all figured out. And that, we know that's not true, because I don't even have it all figured out when it comes to accounting. All right, so that said, I'm going to go get Maddox ready for his class. I have a class of my own at 10, and I will see you guys all next week. If you're interested, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time is going to be that's our normal training time. And next week we are, when he's like, don't try to get away, it's fine. I'll show up and do this. I'll ramble for 15 minutes and let you guys ask questions if you have them. If not, I'll peace out. It's fine. I'll still show up. What was I saying? Oh, 9 o'clock, we're going to talk about when to hire a bookkeeper. I've been getting this question a lot. It's, how do I know when I need to hire a bookkeeper? How do I know when I'm ready? I get the same question for a tax professional. So we are going to talk about those things over the next 2 weeks in the 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time training. And then I will show up at 9:30 for Q&A and updates. Hopefully we'll get some updates. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But you know that I will be here for those. Otherwise, bring your questions, all of them. If you don't want to ask your questions live, you guys, you are always welcome to DM them to us. Or I'd say email, but I think they'd get lost. If you want them in Facebook message, all right, your questions, I'm happy to answer them. But know that there's no such thing as a question, right? Like so ask your questions, because your question could be the same question that 10 other people have and they just don't want to ask either. So, all right. So that all said, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving and you feel rejuvenated. We have 3 weeks until Christmas week, but Christmas is on a Friday. Is anyone, I don't know if I'm excited about that or it's weird. But we are knee-deep tax planning, and our big focus for this week is getting all of our clients on the right 2021 tax package. So if that's you, and if you're interested, let me know. Schedule a tax discovery call so we can chat about that and see if you fit into our ideal client and see if we can help you. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for joining me. I will see you guys next week.